Looks like Shade popped out. Peak. Oh, there he is. There he is.
That is
Are we
pleasant music.
are we going? Because I can't see anything.
Yeah, you're live.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, OG fam, welcome to me and Shade's stream for International Hot Dog Day, aka the Glizzy. And in case you guys don't know, glizzy is another name for a hot dog. It's specifically a northern thing, and it involves them all being over. I think it was like the giant 12-inch hot dogs. Brant's just over there, just shaking his head. I'm asking him a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback from the chat. So,
ah,
um, yeah, I actually have a glizzy maker at my desk at work. So I have the ability to make like 6 hot dogs at a row.
6 hot dogs in a row, man. That's kind of a lot of hot dogs. I know we eat a lot of
Um,
hot dogs, but that's a lot of hot dogs. Six in a row, 6 in a day.
yep. I mean, pretty much eat them until you're sick. Most I've eaten in a single day has been like 12. I didn't feel great about myself afterwards, but I did eat 12 hot dogs.
You did eat 12 hot dogs. That sounds like an amazing an amazing ballpark adventure right there. So yeah, like I said, we decided this was I wouldn't say this is more of a reward versus a punishment, as it's kind of made it seem at the first place. But for us raising, what was it, $300? We decided that this was what we were going to do for the community. So from there, we ended up sitting at a vote, or a poll, to let you all choose our hot dogs. And the hot dogs I ended up with are a Bloody Mary hot dog, a Chicago hot dog, and the Elvis hot dog, which is probably going to be my peanut butter, kind of like questionable, because my wife decided to get us some organic, crunchy peanut butter uh, stuff. So yes, it would be kind of fun.
Well,
Shade?
you got that 1%er peanut butter, man. I only buy like that Skippy cheap stuff. Wow.
The one
Um,
percenter peanut butter.
yeah, here we got the rich guys over there with their fancy peanut butter. So I got a poutine dog, which is kind of fitting. I'm up in northern Minnesota, so that's kind of my neck of the woods. I sneak over to Canada every now and then for their poutine, so it's hard to see.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that bad boy right there, a little bit messy. I have the elote dog. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but that's going to be corn, some cilantro I got from the garden, and a chipotle sauce that I made. You can find all these recipes on Nathan's hot dog page. And then I have a Korean slaw dog that my dog actually ate the hot dog out of the bun while I wasn't here. But I was thankful enough that he left the toppings for me, so I was able to just slide a new dog in there and take up all the toppings that he licked clean and put them back on top. So
I think we got that. Peak was able to find it, so I think we can go back in this and actually clip that, because that was really funny hearing Peak scream, "No, the dogs!"
I mean,
Yeah,
how
I'm
he
gonna post it on
managed,
the OG YouTube channel. So
yeah, how he managed to just hoover that dog out of the bun without getting any of the toppings is it's kind of a magic trick. So we might have to have a whole stream of him just sneaking food from me.
It's amazing. So I guess, like I said, I mean, I guess we can. You wanna? We just try these one at a time, then just kind of go over some hot dog facts, or you want to start with the hot dog facts and we kind of elaborate on these per.
Well, I think it might be more appropriate to start with the hot dog facts because I think there's a lot of people that are doing this wrong, and we just want to set everyone right.
We do want to
I
set them
mean,
right. Yes, we do want to set them
yeah,
right.
I actually have these posted at my Glizzy machine at work. So if anybody wants to eat off the Glizzy machine, they have to follow these rules. And we'll go through it, but some big ones that are going to raise some eyebrows are the no ketchup. So everyone's going to have to get prepared. Want me to just give this a go?
Yeah, just name off a couple. Just name off a couple before our dogs get cold.
All right, all right. Don't use a cloth napkin to wipe your mouth when eating a hot dog. Paper is always preferable. Don't take more than 5 bites to finish a hot dog. Foot long wieners, 7 bites are acceptable. And I'll just do the last one, my favorite one. Um, Ketchup is never allowed on a hot dog for anyone under the age is never allowed on a hot dog for anyone over the age of 18. So legal children are allowed ketchup. Adults, no ketchup on their hot dogs. So
That sounds. I find that kind of questionable. I mean, I think like because when we were looking through the recipes, some of them actually did have ketchup on them, and that's why I was like, if Nathan State or that's from that is actually from the Hot Dog Association, right?
National Sausage and Hot Dog Association put these rules out, so I'm not one to argue with the experts, but that is what they say.
We
They
are.
actually
Oh, go ahead, buddy. Didn't mean to cut you off.
they actually did expound on that a little bit and said that the sugar in the ketchup messes with the taste that you're going to get and the purity of the hot dogs.
That's why mustard's the #1 condiment in the world.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and it's less calories too for those of you that are watching your weight.
And for those of you that don't know, we should have asked if we could have been a sponsor for this. But if you have not tried Weber's mustard, it is mandatory in life. Weber's is a yellow mustard that is made with horseradish and is absolutely fantastic. And I used Weber's on my Chicago dog just to kind of stay true to our roots. I don't think you got any Weber's on there, do you, Brant?
Well, I was gonna just be a traditionalist and go off the Nathan's page, but I snuck some Weber's onto the bottom of the dogs.
Weber's.
I don't know where you're coming up with the extra E's, but I can respect it.
It's okay. Someone's got to make that fun of things in an inappropriate way. So, anyways, I guess let's just kind of get down to it. Do you want to go first and let us know what your mouth is thinking from these delicious I guess I don't even know what you want to call them. Glizzies, sausages, hot dogs, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I could start with this. This is the one that my dog hoovered, if you would, the glizzy out of the center of the bun somehow. So I just kind of stuck a new one in there and put the toppings back on. So I'll give it a shot. It might taste like dog food a little bit, but. Okay. It's actually really good. So this is a Korean coleslaw mix on the top with some chipotle sauce, some cilantro on top of a Nathan's hot dog with a potato bun. The cilantro adds a nice little crisp to it. Now the Korean slaw is a nice kind of fresh taste combined with the kind of salty meat, if you would. I'd give this a solid 6 out of 10.
A solid 6 out of 10.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I had to step away because of this. The Bloody Mary dog was supposed to have Cholula, or not Cholula, but hot sauce. But I don't know, my Tabasco looked questionable because we haven't used it in a while. So I'm just gonna put some Cholula on this big bad boy.
Does Tabasco go bad?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's vinegar based, so my dad swears, he's a physician, that anything that's vinegar based is actually supposed to never go bad. Which is kind of an interesting thing. So, well, anyways, this is the Bloody Mary dog. It's got onions, olives, which I absolutely hate olives, so I'm doing this one for you, Brant, because I know you didn't want to do the ketchup. And celery stick, and it actually, instead of ketchup, it required to make homemade cocktail sauce. So this is definitely, so it's got horseradish, salt, pepper, celery salt, Worcestershire sauce, and ketchup. So it's just it's fancy ketchup, fancy sauce. So
what's it doing to your mouth? What are we getting here?
man, that's extremely tasty. Because it's a dill pickle relish versus the sweet relish, so it's kind of goes against the whole policy of, like you were talking about the sugar. So it's kind of funny. Peaks just asked an interesting question. So what are our thoughts on a hot dog being a sandwich?
Oh man, it's definitely a sandwich. I would think it's got all the makings of a good sandwich. It's got the meat in the middle, the bread on both sides, like sandwich all day.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know people thought differently.
Yeah, apparently it's a big thing because since the bun is actually a unified piece of bread, see, paper napkins, gotta do it the right way. Got to do it the right way. But yeah, because it's not two pieces of bread or two pieces of, sandwich in between each other. The definition of a sandwich. Yeah.
I mean,
Probably.
back in college, there were some tough times where I've definitely made sandwiches with just one piece of bread, just wrapped, kind of mushed around some meat.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, those are tough times. Now that we're all out of college and working, it's like I can do that 2-bread sandwich.
So I would definitely do this one again, but I would definitely chop up the celery. I was assuming that I was going to just be able to bite into the celery stick, like they should, and it would just come out. But I was wrong.
Oh man, I hate celery. It's a food where it's like negative calories when you eat it, and I just unless I'm making like a fancy meal that I need to make a roux with to start out with, I don't put celery in things.
Celery is dope, man. It's just kind of like like H was talking about. Like for those of you who don't know, my wife is actually from Colombia, the country, and they have their way of eating hot dogs is very different. It has like pineapple, mayonnaise, chips, like slaw, like just a bunch of different stuff on there that you would just think is like not good for a hot dog. So Miss V says a hot dog, but isn't a hot dog bun one piece of bread technically? So a sandwich is, yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about, Miss V. So I think that's the argument. But who's to say that if we just cut that bun in half, straight down that median line, that it would become a sandwich?
I mean, I think it's pretty fair to say that even though the bun is separated in the middle, just like a submarine sandwich, it's still two separate halves of bread. It's just a little bit connected in the middle. That's a sandwich.
That's true. Subway sandwiches are actually still a unified piece of bread. They're cut in the V.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless you're getting one of them really fat sandwiches that when you fold it and it breaks apart in that middle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's still one unified piece of bread.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, we could go next up here. I got the elote dog, and I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but
That's perfect. That's actually exact.
Is it really?
Yep.
I failed Spanish like 3 times, so I'm not one to say I'm an expert.
Elote is Spanish for those of you who don't know. It's the name for Mexican street corn. So I don't know if you guys have it or where you go and they put like mayonnaise and a bunch of different cheese and stuff on it, and you just eat it out of a bowl.
Yeah. So for this elote dog, I got some Southwest corn. Kind of hard to see. Southwest corn, a little bit of cilantro, and this mayonnaise chipotle sauce that I made. And we'll just dig into this. I think it's going to be good too because it's pretty similar to the Korean slaw dog, except for the corn. We'll give this. That's bussin', as the kids would say.
That's
that
bussin'.
right there is a solid 8.
That's a solid 8.
That's a solid 8. The corn adds like a nice, fresh, sweet kind of kicker at the end. And then that chipotle mayonnaise sauce is just, it's a solid 8.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, bro. That's lit, as these kids would say.
Yep. I just learned bussin' the other day. We had a new intern at work that I'm training in. And I tell you what, these kids have the best way of saying things.
It's almost like the English language is going to be non-existent in the next 20 years and be replaced by words like bussin'.
And I don't know what the hell some of them are saying half the time, but I mean, they're funny.
So this one is just it kind of looks similar to the other one, but it's really not. It's a Chicago dog. Obviously, I don't do tomatoes. I suffered through the olives on that. Were really good, and actually it went really well with that cocktail sauce, which I thought was crazy. I might try a martini later for the first time ever. But yeah, it's supposed to be a pickle spear, but we don't eat a lot of pickles, so I just got some fancy pickle chips. They're super crunchy and delicious. It's got ketchup instead of the. I know I broke the rule. Ketchup instead of tomato, mustard, celery salt, onions, and salt and celery pepper, or something like that. Anyways, just is like a glorified hot dog, American style, but dill pickles instead of sweet relish. But
And which dog was that again?
Chicago.
Chicago. Oh, classic.
Mm-hmm.
I work with a guy from Chicago, and he's got a spot that he takes me every now and then near our work. And yeah, I like the pickles on there. A full pickle spear on a hot dog just adds a nice crunch and a little bit of saltiness.
Yeah, this is normally I would say this is actually perfect. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. Because I feel like the full pickle spear almost is kind of like takes over the taste of the hot dog. I mean, it has a nice crunch to it and the texture, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like the perfect balance of. Mm. And the Weavers.
Well, I think last up for me is the poutine dog. This is the one I was most excited about, but boy, is it messy. Yeah, I got cheese curds falling out. So this is curly fries, pork gravy, and I got some cheese curds on there also. So it's got to be like 1,000 calories for this one glizz. If I could get an angle of attack here.
Yeah, Miss V said
Okay.
I gave it an imperfect, or gave this one an imperfect score since it was an 8 out of 10. But I mean, I feel like perfection when reaching a 10 is probably has to be a magical hot dog. That might be a
Yeah,
magical hot dog.
that's like a Jesus dog. A 10 out of 10 would be like, JC came down and blessed that glizzy. And
That,
that's just not common.
and that's gonna be like that's gonna encompass the wiener, the bun, the freshness
Mhm.
of the toppings, just all about it. What do you think about your poutine dog?
Oh, it's delicious. That one's a 9. The cheese curds don't add that much. I mean, maybe if I would have melted them, but I think like maybe like a Mexican cheese on top would have been a little bit better and just melt that on top. Uh, but it's good, and then I'm just dripping gravy all over the place.
Well, just where's your dog at? I'll come and clean up for you.
Oh, I had to lock him out of the room now because after he ate that one, he thought they were all his, so it was a fight to just like eat these things.
Mm, um,
And he's too big too. If he wants one of these hot dogs, like I'm not gonna be able to stop him.
it's a lost cause. It's like
Yeah,
battleship sunk, bro. Game over.
yeah,
Oh
he's a
man.
tank.
So since I
Yeah,
had like, oh go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I mean you obviously ended up with the more creative recipes. Like I would never imagine like you know now it makes me want to try the elote recipe just because of the chipotle mayo and stuff.
Oh, the elote was really good. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't fair when I rated that one. I think I rated that 7
Yeah.
or 8,
You think
but it was
you gave
good.
it an 8?
Did I?
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to redo our glizzy scale. Like actually make a make solid ratings. Like give it or numbers 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 5, and then come up with a nice average number for it all.
Well, what a fella ought to do is come up with categories. Like freshness,
Mm.
tasting, unique flavors, something like that. So a guy has a matrix to rate these things on because they're just toss an arbitrary number out. It just doesn't feel right when you're talking about these things.
I mean, it's like Dave Portnoy in his pizza reviews. I mean, how often has he ever? I don't think he's ever given out a perfect score for pizza. I think its highest is like a 9.2 or something. Ugh. I'm actually worried about this last dog after eating the other two.
What's your last one?
The Elvis dog, man.
That one scared me. I don't know. We
Yeah,
had to put it on the list, but I was like, I don't know about that one.
yeah. Well, I'm taking the dive on this one. It looks pretty. Um, it's got peanut butter. It was like mixed with molasses and some red onion. Uh, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't taste terrible. Uh, Bacon and bananas. So I mean, this is H. I think this is might be the one that I was like having the regret on because it's like, uh, I guess like I was telling Shade when I was a kid. It was the recipe, Miss V. I think it was white onion, but I didn't. We don't like I said we had a bunch of red onions already chopped up, so I went ahead and used it. And actually, red onions taste better than white to me, anyways. But
Well,
yeah,
I think red onions are the superior onion.
I think red onions. I mean, they're just the best. Crunchy,
Yeah.
tasty. Yeah, they pretty much put red onion on everything.
Oh,
So
that's the way to go.
yeah, but oh man, here we go.
You
Oh
got
man,
this.
which end? I don't know which end's gonna be the better. But I was telling Peak and Shade earlier is that when I was a kid I used to love to eat bologna and peanut butter sandwiches. I'm not sure why I used to like them so much, but I did. And I was thinking, oh, this might bring back some childhood memories, but I don't know.
All right, let's dig into that thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The banana is sweet at the beginning, and then it finishes up with the saltiness of the hot dog, and the peanut butter is like not super sweet, and it's crunchy peanut butter, so it has the peanuts in it. So yeah, it was a. I don't know, man. I'm not saying that I would eat this like purposely ever make this again, but I definitely would say that this is definitely one of those that I don't know. I'm questioning it. I mean, like it's so questionable. I can't even actually give it a number.
Yeah, it just makes your mouth feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this poutine dog, you got to eat these quick because if you don't, they just turn into a soggy mess with the French fries and the bun. So that goes from like an 8 or a 9 down to like a 5 or a 4 pretty quick if you just let it sit.
So, man, Brant, I actually like this, man.
You really? That one looks so gross to me. I'm so happy you had to eat it.
I'm about going. It's weird because like I feel like I'm on the fence in this one. Like it's like I can't. I don't feel like I could actually give it a rating because it's like maybe the banana needs to be cut up smaller or something because it's kind of like I said, it's the first taste of it is the banana, and it's super sweet.
I don't know what you could do with that banana to make it so it's not as potent. I know a lot of people eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches though.
Mm-hmm. Man, have you ever had a bacon donut
No, I actually don't like bacon that much.
besides the bacon you make?
I like that bacon. I like my homemade stuff, but store-bought bacon where it's like really thin, and I don't like that. I got to have the big, thick. I cut mine like 1/8 inch thick.
That's like pig belly though. I mean, that's not. I wouldn't necessarily. It's like what you would do for a barbecue.
Yeah, that's what I like. It is pork belly. I buy pork belly from Costco and smoke it, and yeah, I like it thick. I don't like that thin stuff.
Yeah, I don't, man. Okay, I mean, I'd give this a 6.5.
That's it, man. You were talking it up like it was gonna.
Well,
It was gonna be
but I'm
that big
saying though,
treat.
like it needs to be fixed. I feel there needs to be refinery on this one. So, like, I don't know, chop up the bananas. What would be good is actually sautéing the bacon with the banana. So the
Oh,
banana, yeah. So
like
it
a
have
banana Foster type of thing.
kind of, so it gets a little flavor of the bacon, and it's not so sweet, and it's not just big chunks of it. But
Yeah, you can probably take that banana up and saute it with some rum in a pan
mm,
and get a nice like crispy layer to the outside, and that add a little sweetness to it and kind of crisp it up. That might be good.
mm, yeah, must be. I think a lot of us was like, we were trying to. I think we thought there was going to be more prep going into the actual the recipes that we were doing. But it really didn't take that long. And then we were more concerned with trying to make sure that we were, got our stream up and running as quick as possible. So, but
I'm actually surprised it's going as smooth as it is because I'm like really dumb when it comes to this stuff. And thanks to Peak, like I just had to get on, my webcam was on, and Peak took care of everything for me.
Peak's a wizard.
A gentleman and a scholar, as they say. I heard he's like super handsome too. I don't remember who told me that, but
George Clooney, get out of the way.
he was described to me as like the Wish version of Channing Tatum.
Is that a compliment or a?
I'm just kidding. I've never seen him. Nobody's ever described him to me, so I'm just making stuff up.
You said I clipped it. You can't take it back. We should put that. We should put that on the soundboard, Peak, and be like, Peak's a wizard. Peak's a wish version of Channing Tatum. Oh.
Yeah, my girlfriend made me watch that Magic Mike movie with her. I tell you what, that guy is in good shape. He's in shape I'll never be in.
You know what's funny? Is those movies are actually pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to watch the second one too, and that was all on me.
I heard that Wish.com. Oh man, yeah, I heard the third one was more of a sappy, serious love story drama. So
I didn't even know they made a third one.
yeah, it came out last year, I think. But I mean, Joe Manganiello was the best part about it, in my opinion, because he was funny. And then you gotta think about it like, man, now him and Sofia Vergara are getting a divorce. What if he just eats too many glizzies?
I don't even know who those two people are, but I will look it up after.
So Joe Manganiello was the guy that was in Magic Mike. He had like the beard, the tall, chiseled, older-looking guy.
Not ringing any bells.
Oh man, Miss V.
And that Matthew McConaughey feller's in there also.
Yep, he's a good dude. I mean, he's a really good guy. I mean,
How old is that guy?
Matthew McConaughey. I'm not even sure. I think he's probably like got to be 55.
Yeah, he's like our Jennifer Aniston for women. Just timeless.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw like Dazed and Confused was one of my favorite movies in high school, and that was the first time I ever saw him. He's 53 years old.
Man, he's aging like fine wine, man.
Just I mean, it's hopefully we both end up like that. But I mean, maybe we get a bunch of preservatives from the glizzies that we eat, and it just keeps us alive and handsome, and mixed with the alcohol I drink, and my body's pickled. I'm preserved, pickled. I could live to be like 150. Be amazing.
Easy. They're gonna dig you up in the future, and like the British are gonna use you for medicine. I think that's what they did with the mummies. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
100%. So now that we've devoured our tasty hot dogs, let's go over that. Let's go over your list.
All right. So I'll just start at the top here. These are a bunch of don'ts and do's. They start with a don't, so usually it'd be do's and don'ts. But rule number 1 would be put hot dog toppings between the hot dog and the bun. Always dress the dog, not the bun.
Mm-hmm.
Condiments should be applied in the following order. Wet condiments like mustard and chili are applied first, followed by chunky condiments like relish, onions, and sauerkraut, followed by shredded cheese, followed by spices like celery, salt, or pepper.
Celery salt, I figured out is like I never actually. I went to the store this morning to buy that specifically, and I'm happy I did. I'm not sure why it's so different or what it adds to the actual to the hot dog itself, but it tasted fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had celery salt on its own. I don't think I can pinpoint what that tastes like, but I put it in a lot of recipes.
I mean, this is the first time I think I've ever actually put any kind of dusting on a hot dog. on a glizzy. I put crushed black pepper on everything except the Elvis dog and the celery salt, but that was the first time I've ever done that.
Yeah, actually, I could honestly say I've never added like a powdered anything to the top of a glizzy. It's usually just Weber's, some onions, and some sauerkraut. I'm like traditional that way.
Can't do the cabbage, man. Cannot do the cabbage.
What?
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
that's iconic.
No, no way. Something about sauerkraut is just.
I just watched you eat a peanut butter and banana hot dog, and you're telling me sauerkraut's where you're gonna draw the line?
Sauerkraut tastes like hot garbage, bro. I could have some. I could have some. Like, to me, I could have some really clever analogies there, but I don't think they're actually fitting for our stream. So I'll text them to you later, brother. But yes.
All right, here we go. So rule number 2: do serve sesame seed, poppy seed, or plain buns with hot dogs. Sun-dried tomato buns or basil buns are considered gauche with Franks. Gauche with Franks. That is. I had to look up that word, and then I wrote down how to pronounce it, and I still messed it up.
It's was it like fancy? Is it like a fancy thing?
Pretentious.
Pretentious, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you'd eat your hot dog with your pinky up, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. A pinkies up dog. I was just gonna say that. It's hot dogs are not meant to be a pinkies up sort of activity. It's a pinky down thing.
Yeah, you need to grip the dog.
Yeah, and it's and after a hard day's work, it's like a full fist you want to grip this with in case you don't want it slipping or.
It's safety precautions for the buns. We don't need any escapage of toppings or your dog sucking out the hot dog out of the butt without the toppings. It's like Baxter. I'm actually super impressed with that.
I'm really surprised he didn't eat all 3 and he just got the 1. But
like I said, I still find it funny that Peak was screaming at the dog like he could hear it through the microphone.
Even if he could hear you, once he's locked on to something like that, he's gonna hit it like a northern man. He ain't gonna back down.
Got that laser focus going on.
Yeah, sometimes I just back out of the way, and Wes is gonna eat what he's gonna eat. You get in the way, you're gonna get hurt. So we got rule number 3. Don't use cloth napkins to wipe your mouth when eating a hot dog. Paper is always preferable. And again, that speaks to the gauche thing. We're not putting napkins on our laps for this, all right? That's very important.
I mean, if you think about the functionality of it too, imagine like if anytime you've been to a nice steakhouse and they give you those cloth napkins and you get the steak juices all over your mouth and your beard. And it feels like the napkin is just spreading it versus I guess picking up the debris. Paper always works.
I've never liked those cloth napkins because when I'm in the zone and I'm eating, I don't have time to be cleaning things. Cleaning's for after. So I'm eating, I'm getting stuff on my napkin, then I'm putting it right in my pants. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but my jeans get washed like once a week.
Oh, so does Grace get on to you? But I do the same thing. I just kind of... and I have to wash my stuff all the time. My wife gets mad about me, and she says that's what the napkins are for.
Yeah, I gotta hide my britches in the corner so Grace doesn't snag them up and try to force wash them, because pants are kind of like a good cast iron pan. They get seasoned after the first couple times you use them, so then they're warmed up for the next day's use, and they're kind of loosened up. And you can't just wash them every time. Then it's just the britches don't fit right, and you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, you have to break jeans in, period. And I think all the oils of everything kind of help it with the elasticity. Especially with us and our giant legs. From working out so much. We gotta have some room to stretch out a little bit. Rollerblading, especially for you, man.
I do a lot of rollerblading, but I will let this out. I have a 29-inch inseam. I have no legs. I'm all torso.
He's like. I don't even know. It's like a cartoon character, giant upper body and knees. The grandfather from King of the Hill. With this,
Cotton, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I got my shins blown off over Vietnam.
Yeah, I was running on the treadmill with Grace the other day. She's like, "Hey, where's your waist at?" And she made me point at it, and she's like, "Mine is way up here, and you're taller." I'm like, what? Why are we doing this right now? What is this making me feel good? Is this something we need to talk about when I'm running? I'm not having a good time.
Hey man, that just means you could be able, since your legs are smaller, that means you get more speed when you're rollerblading because you just have less distance to go, and you get the momentum going with your arms. Oh man, it's amazing.
I really do not think that's how it works. Because I am slow as hell on them rollerblades.
Oh God, it's fantastic.
All
Well,
right,
it's
let's
because
see
the
here.
fanny pack too. The fanny pack might create a little drag for you, buddy.
Well, I'm rollerblading in like downtown Minneapolis. You put that fanny pack on, you blend right in. And I'm kind of a good old country boy, so like I feel out of place there. But as soon as that fanny pack goes on, I'm a city person.
Fabulous,
You fit all
fabulous.
all your fixings in there. You got your phone, wallet, whatever you need, right in the fanny pack.
Just right there.
And then nobody wants to rob you either because like that's a hate crime if you rob somebody with a fanny pack. Pretty sure.
It's illegal to rob people with a fanny pack. It's discrimination,
Yeah.
right?
When the judge sees that, he's like, "Really? That guy already has enough going on. He's wearing a fanny pack, and you're gonna hit him." Sorry to everyone that wears fanny packs around here. We're just teasing.
What's the next one,
So,
buddy?
do eat hot dogs on buns with your hands. Utensils should not touch hot dogs on buns.
I disagree.
Good to know that you can eat a hot dog with utensils when it's not in a bun.
I disagree with that, man. I mean, because sometimes you get those chili dogs at fairs or something that are just all over the place, and that bun gets all soggy and starts tearing apart, and so everything starts falling through. So then you do kind of have to eat it with a utensil.
Yeah, I might draft up a strongly worded email on that one because I'm with you. You know, you gotta.
There's
Gotta
a
go.
circumstantial evidence here that not you. I mean, if the buns disintegrate to where you're actually just grabbing the hot dog and the chili, then there's something wrong there.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. And then, oh wait, commercial break in progress. What do we? have to
We
stop?
just keep on talking. They'll get back to us
Okay.
eventually. Yeah.
Do we have cool commercials at least, or is it like?
No, they're like this one's for visible. I don't know. It's a 30-second commercial though. I think it's a big commercial break though for us. 'Cause it says add 1 of 3 and there's still, it's almost done. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I will say about the utensils thing. You know, like sometimes I order hot dogs when I'm at like a business dinner or something, and I can't eat it with my hands. I have to use utensils because I'm with these big wigs, and I can't be a savage during that time, so I have to use utensils. And I don't think that should be against the rules.
I mean, just imagine like if you're actually, like yesterday when you were having that inspection. What if one of those guys said, "I'd love to have one of your chili glizzies off your desk." Do you think he would eat it with utensils to keep his suit and tie, everything professional looking, or do you think he
All
would just
day,
dive
all
into
day.
it? Yeah, yeah. There's I think there's the etiquette should be, we should go gauche if you're wearing a suit. If you're wearing a suit, you could go gauche on hot dogs all day. Hold that pinky up, use a fork, and just keep on looking pretty. But if you're wearing if you're wearing your shirt like us right now, your Hawaiian shirt or my sweaty V-neck from it being 110 degrees here all day. I mean, I'm going at it. I'm just taking it to the dome.
Right. I mean, you got to be able to when you're going down this road of eating a glizzy, you've kind of signed up for a ride. Like this is a full thing. You can't just stop the glizzy lifestyle halfway through eating one to switch it to like
No.
now I'm going to use utensils. Like once you're involved, you're there.
And I mean, the whole purpose is, I mean, it's like Ruffy in the league, the pocket dog, man. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could keep a hot dog in your pocket and just pull it out. You could keep a hot dog in your fanny pack. It's kind of like that pizza pouch that they invented. The one that we wear around your wear around your neck, where you put the pizza or slice in.
But that's a thing. Like what they feed horses and cows with. Like it just.
It's like a vinyl pouch. It looks like Superman's vest, but it's off a lanyard. It's a pouch, and you put the slice of pizza inside it, and it saves it to where you can eat it later. Just zips up.
Oh, I was picturing like a eating trough where you would have.
Oh
like,
yeah, like a hands-free eating. I mean, I don't know. That might get a little dicey with some people for trying to create like a hands-free hot dog eating thing.
Well, then, like, I'm always worried about my image or what people are thinking about me. So it's like, do you want to be the fat guy with an eating pouch walking around just because you can't be bothered to use your hands to eat your hot dog? No, you don't
I
want to be
mean,
that
you
guy.
can make like those like the horse and carrot thing. You just make a hat with a hot dog and just kind of have it a little contraption to where it holds it and just kind of swing it. To take a bite out of it and get it back out of the way. It'd be kind of interesting.
I was at a motorcycle rally one time, and one of the games that they had is they took a hot dog and hung it from a string on a pole, and they dunked it in mustard, not Weber's, but just regular mustard. And the men would drive the motorcycle, and the women on back had to stand up and try to get a bite of the hot dog, and whoever did it got $100.
That's amazing. So, I mean, it's kind of like yesterday. Like I saw a TikTok. I don't know if I sent that to you. I sent it to my wife. But it's been so hot here. This guy in Las Vegas has been driving around with glizzies on his car antenna, and they've been cooking in the sun from like while he's driving.
Oh, man, why would you want to live there? That just sounds awful.
It's good. It's like besides these 2 months, man, it's perfect all year round.
Oh, you got to come visit me in Minnesota. I'll show you how.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm gonna have to schedule it because we need to get that ice fishing done. Ice fishing, and we could break out the glizzy maker off a generator and just sit there and just eat glizzies all day.
I mean, we
Glizzies
could
and fish.
come in March. We'll go up to Lake of the Woods. It's still frozen in March, and then you can get a suntan out there when it's like 40 degrees on the ice and still be fishing.
That's amazing. Sounds fantastic.
Oh.
So since we're talking about mustard though, like what if you're not using Weber's, what is your go-to mustard? Like basic mustard, unless you do like brown mustard, which I use for brats and stuff like that, but just regular yellow's mustard.
I haven't had regular mustard ever since Double O Deuce introduced us to Weber's or Weber's. So it's been probably 2 years now since I've had mustard, just normal. But what's it like? Just the Hunt's yellow mustard. I'm pretty basic.
See, I did the French's, man. The French's is something about the French's. I don't know if you ever heard about the actual like when they had the challenge. It wasn't even a challenge. Apparently, French's mustard goes good on watermelon.
No.
Yeah, it's seriously 110%. Like it's a thing. French's mustard and watermelon. I mean, I just ate a peanut butter dog, so I can't really sit there and disavow whether that's a tasty thing or not because it's obviously one of those things I've not tried yet.
Well, I would say you're probably the expert on the weird stuff tonight. So if you tell me it tastes good,
I don't know. I think we're probably gonna have to do maybe on one of our next streams, or we could start a podcast where we do just the weird stuff. But yeah, I think like us trying watermelon with French's would just be. And it's got to be French's mustard too. No other mustard works. It has to be French's.
No other mustard pairs well with watermelon, apparently.
That's what they're saying. That's exactly what they're saying. Something that's in the French's mustard recipe goes very well with watermelon.
Man, I'll do it, but I'll do it, but oh man. All right, let's see here. We got next on the list. Let's see here. I don't like that one. Do we want to read them all? Because some of these are kind of dumb.
Pick out the good ones. I think we got, what time we start? We start at 3:15. I think we got 15 more minutes. We can go over some more.
Okay, so don't leave bits of bun on your plate. You have to eat it all.
100%. You're not a completionist if you don't. I mean, it's like, like our parents would say, the starving kids of China would eat that. You gotta eat it. You can never let anything go to waste.
Now, I will say there are some hot dog buns that are just too bready. There's a good ratio of meat to bun, and some of them just go way over.
Or those buns that it might be getting a little old towards the end, and you might have like overcooked them a little bit, and they get that really hard knot at the end of it.
Yeah.
And you just kind of just got to throw it away. I mean, you can't really chew it, so it's just got to be chucked away.
I would suggest if you do have some hard buns laying around, make them up into that poutine dog. That'll soften them right up. You'll probably get a little extra time before that dog goes from like a masterpiece to like
hot mess.
Yeah.
Would it still be a hot mess if it was getting cold though? Hypothetically.
All right. Don't fresh herbs on the same plate with dogs overdo the presentation. So no salads.
I mean, would it be you wanted to use parsley as a garnish? I mean, you literally did just use whatever it was on your elote dog. I can't think of the name. Or whatever it is.
It's important to note that they can't be on the same plate. It doesn't say on the dog, so that's separate from garnish.
So the
that you use.
cilantro could be on the hot dog, but it can't be on the plate.
Yeah, don't have a separate pile of cilantro in case you think you might need more. That does not go on the plate. You keep that in a separate container. And sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, hey, I added this, but I might want to have just a backup stash in case I need more of it. But it'll overdo the presentation and wreck the glizzy plate if you do that.
Do you have the fact on there about the glizzies being on paper plates and not like paper plates only and not not actual normal plates?
Yeah, here we go. Do use paper plates to serve hot dogs. Everyday dishes are acceptable. China is a no-no.
I mean, why would somebody use? I mean, I can understand. Like, I mean, it's not necessarily like a fancy dish. I mean, I guess the hot dogs we made today I did have on a normal plate, but I mean, have you tried that with like multiple things on a paper plate at a cookout or whatever, and it just like sometimes the plate just wants to fall apart or fall over, then you lose your food. So maybe there should be maybe there should be a limit of glizzies on a plate to where it would step up to go from the paper to a normal plate.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes what I've done in the past is because, when I'm feeling particularly hungry at a grad party or something, I'll request a real plate, and then I'll just put the paper plate on top.
So you're still not dirtying up the normal plate? It's holding the integrity of the paper plate, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. I figured everyone did that.
My mom used to have those, like, I don't know, they were like ancient, like when we were kids, they were like woven wicker basket kind of plate holders for the paper plate. So, I mean, didn't have to wash them, didn't have to do anything, just stuck your paper plate in there and just chuck the paper plate. My mom still uses paper plates to this day. It's insane. But, I mean, it is less dishes to wash.
Yeah, paper plates are kind of the way to go unless you're having company over, or if you want to seem fancier. Grace and I have some friends, and they think that we're kind of like well-educated, highbrow people, and we're not. So when they come over, I like to church it up. I dress nice, and I just put on this whole fake shade, just so they think I'm like, I'm kind of important, but I'm not.
I mean, we all know that you're an important individual. At least I do. You're very important. You're very important to this world. You keep us safe. You keep us safe.
Oh.
I know. Taylor Swift, T Swift.
My girlfriend just saw her actually the other month when she was here.
Good old Swifties.
So here's an interesting one. Here's a do. Condiments remaining on fingers after eating a hot dog should be licked away, not washed.
100%.
It doesn't look like they have any rules in here for like the Dorito commercial. Can you have somebody else lick the condiments away? I'm not sure.
I mean, I honestly think that there is first off, you're just going to dirty up the napkin anyways. There's just less stuff to get off on the napkin after you lick your fingers. But, I mean, you don't get anything on your fingers till the very end as it is, unless it's a chili dog.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how... I've made some loaded up glizzies before where it's like it had no business being that tall and stuff just gets everywhere, but...
Kind of like a Petros?
Yeah.
Cheese, or like Nachos Supreme, just towering over everything. You pull it out and everything just kind of falls over.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to overdo the toppings. Your eyes get a little bit bigger than your tummy.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you got an overflowing glizzy.
That's it. It happens. What's next?
Ooh, here's a good one. Do use multicolored toothpicks to serve cocktail wieners. Cocktail forks are in poor taste.
I mean, cocktail forks.
I don't know why that was under the hot dog rules.
I mean, but you're talking about it's like my mom around Christmas. She makes the little smokies. Have you had those before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she pulls out like a crock pot and adds like barbecue sauce in there and has but yeah, she doesn't. We use toothpicks to eat them. I mean, I think using a fork is like, I don't know, using a fork on those things just seems like kind of overkill.
Yeah, like you're just, it's just too big.
I mean, it's like, dude, you get if you go to a fancy thing and they're offering hors d'oeuvres. I mean, do you ever see them offer cheese with forks? No.
No, that is a good point.
I mean, it's still protein. I think it's the size should always be toothpicks. But
I think the size of the person should be taken account. Like Lou Ferrigno, you hand that dude a fork, it's going to look like a toothpick. So should he be able to use a fork?
But the question is, so. but would his cocktail glizzy be? Would it be small, or would it be like a normal sized glizzy?
You know what? Yeah, he would. His cocktail glizzy would be just a normal Nathan's
A
hot
normal,
dog.
yeah, just that's what I'm saying. I mean, I could just foresee that happening. I think that should be variable, but for normies like us, I mean, obviously toothpicks are probably the way to go. Question is,
That's,
should we start
that's the
carrying
way.
toothpicks around us everywhere we go?
Well, they do sell little travel-sized toothpick containers, and I think it's probably good practice to have them on you.
Sounds like a plan. Like or like I need to get a Swiss Army knife like MacGyver just so I get that toothpick in it.
Yeah,
Doing my
just in case there's an impromptu cocktail wiener festival.
cocktail wiener festival. They don't have the.
Boom.
Yeah, just be like, this is for me. This is for me. This is for me.
I planned and prepped for this. Let me get my Swiss Army knife out.
Yep. Toothpick. Boom.
So here's a good one. Don't send a thank you note following a hot dog barbecue. It would not be in keeping with the unpretentious nature of hot dogs. No thank you notes.
So if someone invites us over for a cocktail for a barbecue, I mean, should we just be like, should we shake their hand and say thanks for inviting us, or should we just say see ya?
Well, I think it's like a very firm handshake, not moist. So if it's hot out, you're gonna want to wipe it.
Yeah. Just
And
is there eye contact in this too, or is this kind of
oh,
like?
because what you've been a part of, like it was kind of like a ceremony, and it just doesn't need to be said. You exchange with the look and the handshake, what you've just done, and you celebrate that way.
I mean, but if it's a hot dog only, like barbecue with no burgers and stuff, I'd feel kind of ashamed, even though glizzies are the best. I mean, it's kind of a shameful barbecue.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that just has hot dog barbecues, but yeah,
Maybe that's why there's no thank you cards involved.
and I don't know about the handshake either because they tell you have to suck all the condiments off your fingers, so you just go up there like a child, just let's here, touch me. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't want to shake a little kid's hand after eating hot dogs too. You never know; they could be out in the back making mud pies. Peek.
Yeah, I mean you could probably like squirt them off with a hose or something, and then I'll like we can do that, but
Hey, it is what it
here's
is.
another good one. Don't bring wine to a hot dog barbecue. Beer, soda, lemonade, and iced tea are preferable.
Okay, now I mean, why would you? Maybe box wine would be acceptable.
Oh, yeah, they should change
They,
that one.
yeah, box wine still comes in a plastic bag. So I mean, if it's still coming in a plastic bag, I mean, I used to drink box wine over ice for the summer. That was like my summer drink. Just go to the fridge, put a glass of ice, fill it up with box wine. Pinot Grigio though, because I like to be a little bit classy here, and I would just go on my way, But like, I wouldn't like make hot dogs and pop open a nice Chianti, like go through the trouble just to. I think if it comes in plastic,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. If it's
No, they're
glass,
gonna.
just let it pass.
I'll add that. I'll add that to the email. I'm gonna draft to these guys. I will say in college we would. I went to college in northern Minnesota, and everyone played ice hockey up there. So in the winters, we would go play pond hockey just at the local pond, and we would take a box of Franzia wine and we put it on the boards, and that's what you drank. And we called it the Tour de Franzia.
Man, we used to do this is like slap the bag. Did you ever play slap the bag?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
just slap it. Well, yeah, we had another game. I can't remember what it was called, but it was something we just invented where it was like, you'd have to hold the bag and then you'd have to drink it and then throw it at somebody like dodgeball, and then like if you threw it and missed, you'd have to drink a glass of it until it was empty or else you hit somebody else. It was pretty fun. It was very dangerous, but it was very fun.
Oh man, my buddy Darren Gagne and I used to do the Tour de Francia. Then we'd have like 6 or 7 glasses of wine while playing hockey. Then we'd always get in hockey fights, and neither of us can skate that good. So it was like we got in 7 hockey fights, and we just do the shake the gloves, drop them, and we go. And we'd only hit each other like once or twice, and we just fall over because we were so drunk and we couldn't skate well to begin with.
That sounds fantastic.
Man.
Slap the bag. Can't like hockey fights for Tour de Franzia. Oh man.
Tour de Franzia, that's a classic. If you guys aren't doing Tour de Franzias, got to get the boys together, get the girls together. That's where it's at.
Yeah, we're running it back. We're running it back.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go to the Canadian border and have Peak meet us there, and then we can do it with the Mounties.
Is Peak like Canadian?
Peak is Canadian.
Oh, I knew I liked him for some reason. We're like brothers.
He did ask us if if we could bring a bag of milk, since in Canada milk comes in bags.
So in northern Minnesota, milk comes in bags. And same with southern Minnesota. In the middle, we don't have that. You can go to a Quick Trip and get a sack of milk.
A sack of milk. That just sounds wrong.
Yeah, I was hunting in southern Minnesota, and I thought it was the coolest thing that they had these sacks of milk, and they come in gallon sacks. What I didn't know is that it also comes. You're supposed to buy a pitcher with it that's supposed to squeeze the bag closed. So of course I didn't buy the pitcher, so I just bought a sack of chocolate milk. So opened it, had a glass. I'm like, well, what do I do with this now? Tried to prop it up in the fridge, and it just kept falling over. So I'm like, I'm just gonna drink it. So I got almost done with that gallon of milk, and then I no longer had a gallon of milk in my stomach, if you catch my drift.
That's Did you lose your milk and cookies?
Oh man, it's not one of those foods that's great coming up either. Like, it was so bad. You know,
Peak, have you ever chugged a gallon of a gallon sack of milk? I'm just waiting for him to respond to that. That'd be. I wonder if that's a Canadian game. Like, let's see who can drink this sack of milk the fastest.
I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe you're a better man than I.
He says, "No, I have brains." And then,
That's so fair.
That's very fair. That's very fair. So let's get two more. Pick the last two that are the best.
All right, I'll save the last one for last. Let's see here. Paper plates. I think we got them all actually, except for the last one. Yeah. So I guess
let's finish up on a strong note.
so. The last one is don't ever think there's a wrong time to serve hot dogs, and I think that's wonderful.
And for those of you that actually don't know us, Shade and I are always eating hot dogs. There are other things, but it's I don't know why it's kind of been our common bond. Hot dogs are the best.
I mean, they're just easy. Like, you can go on Amazon and you can search up a desk hot dog maker, and they have ones that are rollers. It's got a bun toaster in the bottom. It's an Oscar Mayer brand. It
It's $80.
right into your
$80,
Yeah,
I think. It's
$80.
And they got the toaster one too that you said it doesn't work.
Yeah, there's one where it's like a toaster where you press it down, and all that does is burn one side of it, and then it lights on fire.
They were $20 on Prime Day. If that just like sets, if that opens anybody's eyes to the quality of the man, it's
Little foreshadowing there. I tell you what, your boss does not like when there's a desk fire because you're trying to make hot dogs with a toaster.
oh, that's terrible. It's a terrible thing. Terrible thing. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little Glizzy Day get together. It's been a very interesting hour, but me and him have pretty much interesting days 24/7. So, but yeah, it's good to be able to hang out with my buddy that lives in Minnesota. Eat some of our favorite pastime, America's favorite pastime. And get to hang out with you all. So hopefully, I think H is saying that. I just see somebody held for swearing. He said, "Oops."
Good with swearing, right? I didn't say.
No. It was in the Twitch bot automatically said GTFO and got held for swear. Yeah, it was silly.
Yeah, because I really churched it up today. I mean, I work in manufacturing, and like every other word's a curse word, so it was like I churched it up today.
Well, we've definitely churched it up pretty good. So, anyways, I guess we'll figure out next maybe next food holiday next month. We'll figure out what we can do for August, and then we can come back to you guys and bless you with our beautiful faces and our charm and wit. So, till next time, thank you for joining our stream, and go practice. And if you haven't ate your Glizzy or pre-practice Glizzy, then you need to get that protein in. See you guys.
We could have a place to post them.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, guys. Talk to you later.